You will not succeed in fighting corruption. No. President Museveni will not succeed in fighting corruption. No. Not that he is not interested, but the problem is systemic. Systemic. It is infrastructural. Why do people steal public funds? 3 reasons. 1, there is no risk in stealing it. Corruption has not been made a risky business. That's 1 reason. This is a philosophical perspective. 2, they are planning for the future. That if anything happens to them, the money they are stealing will help them. Health, medical, social security. So the solution to this, in my opinion, as Odonga Oto, is we need to do 2 things radically. And this is a generational campaign. 1, we need to bring the entire health facility back in the hands of the state. Health cannot be a business. We have lived in those countries in the world. You collapse anywhere, the government health system functions. Health cannot be a profit. So people steal money so that in future, when they have problems, they can afford health services. Health should be brought back in the hands of the state, 99%. Now you find people being moved from the National Referral Hospital Mulago into Nakasero Hospital. So people steal because private sector is expensive. So health must be brought back in the hands of the state. All those private clinics should be closed. All those pharmacies should be closed. And doctors moved to government hospitals and paid 15 to 20 million shillings a month. This would reduce the appetite for people to steal public funds. The second one, education. Education should get back in the hands of the state. It cannot be private sector driven. In all civilized countries of the world, education and health and religion is in the hands of the government. You don't privatize education, that someone has to pay 2 million shillings per term to take a child to primary school, and yet that person's salary is 400,000 shillings. It creates a fertile ground for corruption. So education and health should be brought back in the hands of the state. Private clinics be closed, private schools be closed, and government runs these particular industries efficiently and effectively. But if you are just there, that you are arresting this person, tomorrow you are arresting another person, Luzira prison will be full, and that would be a bigger burden to taxpayers to feed those who are in prison, and yet they have stolen our public funds. What are you talking about? So the problem is systemic. The problem is philosophical. So the moment my children and the child of another person in Opoolachen village can go in the same school, where there is no competition between private sector and government sector, things would get back to normal. The same would apply to health. It cannot be for profit. The doctors will not discharge you because they want to make money out of you. Health, education, and religion should be in the hands of the state. We do that and we make them efficient, people will lose appetite for corruption. But what we are doing now is like we are stopping the floodgates of corruption from the end. And yet the problem needs a philosophical approach. We need a government to move far left. These are my thoughts on how the vice of corruption it can be curbed. Corruption, the one we are seeing today, is not the problem. It is how the problem is manifesting itself. So let's attend to what creates the problem and not how the problem is manifesting itself. I challenge anyone to a public debate on these 2 philosophical ideas I have raised as a political philosopher. Thank you. Let the debate start right now.